Hello, everybody. I hope you're all well and your path is filled with light. What if I was to tell you, right now, you're living in a dream? Not the kind that you have when you're snoring away in bed, but a dream that's happening this very second, with your eyes wide open. Your mind is always dreaming whether your brain is awake or asleep. When you're awake, the world around you gives this dream. It's a structure, making things feel linear and real. But when you're asleep, that structure fades and the dream gets wild, shifting in ways that don't always make sense. But either way, you're dreaming 24/7. You see, we're born into this massive shared dream. Let's call it the dream of the planet. It's the collective vibe of billions of people, woven together from the dreams of families, communities, cities, and entire cultures throughout history. This dream carries society's rules, its beliefs, its laws, its religions, and all of its traditions. It's the blueprint for how we're supposed to live, what's good or what's bad, what's beautiful or what's ugly, what's right, what's wrong. And we don't get a say in it, because it's already here when we show up, when we're born. And as kids, we're taught how to dream the way society does. Our parents, schools, communities, they hook our attention and feed us their rules. Attention is our ability to focus on what we're told matters, tuning out the noise of everything else. Through repetition, we learn what to believe, how to act, what's acceptable, even what words mean. Language itself is just a bunch of agreements we all nod along to. Like calling this thing in my hand a phone. Is that really what it is? That's how we soak up the dream of the planet, bit by bit. We didn't choose this. We didn't pick our language, our religion, or our values. They were handed to us. Hell, we didn't even get a say in what our name was. And as kids, we believe everything that the adults said because we trusted them. We agree with their truths, and those agreements became our faith, shaping how we saw the world. I call this process domestication, because it's just like how we would domesticate your dog or your cat. It's how we're trained to fit into society's dream, just like we train that puppy with treats and timeouts. We're rewarded with praise when we follow the rules. You're a good boy. You're a good girl. And then we're told we're a bad boy. You're a bad girl when we don't follow the rules. Over time, we start chasing that reward, craving attention from parents, teachers, friends, lovers, and the list goes on. This domestication teaches us to judge ourselves, others, and even the world around us. And when we learn to pretend, to act like something we're not, or someone we're not, just to avoid that rejection, that's bad. The fear of not being good enough takes root in us, and we start wearing masks to hide who we really are. We become copies of what society expects, losing touch with our true selves. By the time we're old enough to push back, the programming is so deep that we domesticate our own selves. We don't need anyone else to tell us we're not enough anymore, because we become our own worst critics. Inside of our minds, there's a judge who never shuts up. Now, some of us might call it the ego, but either way, it's ruling over everything we do, think, or feel. And this judge, it uses a mental book of laws that was programmed into us at an early age. It's our belief system to decide what's right or what's wrong. And if we break those rules, the judge calls us guilty, and we punish ourselves with shame or guilt. And then there's the victim in all of us, the part that takes the blame and says, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve love. These beliefs, they're not even ours, but they control us because we agreed to them so long ago. And the crazy part is most of these beliefs are lies. They make us feel safe, but they're not true. Challenging them takes courage because going against the book of law stirs up fear internally. It's like a slap in the face that says, don't rock the boat. But the truth is, this dream that we're living in, this dream of the planet, it's often a nightmare. It's full of fear, judgment, suffering. I mean, look around. The world is filled with anger and violence and injustice. It's no wonder that we all feel stuck. And in reality, our personal dreams aren't much better. We carry the same fears, jealousy and anger, shame, and they shape how we live. But it doesn't have to be this way. We're all searching for truth, justice, and beauty, but we're all looking in the wrong places. The answers are already inside of us. The kingdom of heaven is within. The problem is we're blind to them. We're trapped in a fog of false beliefs. In ancient Hermetic wisdom, they called this fog chaos, a blinding mess of thoughts and agreements that keeps us from seeing who and what we really are. This fog makes us afraid to be ourselves. We spend our lives trying to please others, chasing an impossible image of perfection we created as kids. We think we need to be a certain way to be loved, but that image isn't real. When we can't live up to it, we reject ourselves. We judge others also for not measuring up. The result? We feel fake, hiding behind masks to avoid being seen. We punish ourselves endlessly, carrying guilt and shame for not being quote-unquote perfect. And the worst part is, we abuse ourselves more than anyone else ever could. If someone treats us worse than we treat ourselves, we generally walk away. But if they treat us just a little better than we treat ourselves, we stay, thinking we don't deserve more. Self-rejection fuels this cycle, and it all stems from the unattainable image of perfection. But my friends, here's the good news. You can change the dream. Your life is built on thousands of agreements, beliefs about who you are, what you can do, and how this world works. The ones rooted in fear, they drain your energy. They keep you stuck. The ones rooted in love, they set you free. To live a life of joy, you need to break the fear-based agreements and reclaim your personal power. Now, I'm not trying to do some Tony Robbins thing here, folks, but I'm telling you, you are love. You just have to believe it. There are 4 powerful agreements that can help you do this. They're simple, but not easy, and they take a strong will to adopt. Each time you break an old fear-based agreement, you get back the energy you put into it. And these 4 new agreements can help you transform your life, turning your personal dream from a nightmare into something special, something beautiful. Let's call it a dream of heaven. So my friends, it's time to wake up inside your dream. You don't have to live in fear or chase someone else's idea of perfection anymore. The truth is always and will always be already inside and within you. All it takes is the courage to let go of the lies and the programming and the domestication and start dreaming in a new way, one that's yours, one that's free. I encourage each of you to look into the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Those 4 agreements helped me change my experience, and I believe they could do the same for many of you. The book is $6, and I promise you it could change the way you look at things. Give it a try. The link's in the description. It's not an affiliate link. It's just something that I wanted to share with all of you. It's time to wake up, my friends. It doesn't have to be this way anymore. I love you all. Walk in light.